So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Goblet, and we're going to do some Enochian rotations, and just generally go over what what you want to be doing as Black Mage for an opener, and some of the buff timing to get kind of an optimal rotation as it stands right now. There are, of course, going to be changes, and this is just based on some personal research and a little bit of talking back and forth between a few Black Mages that I know that are all really good. And us kind of putting our heads together and talking about rotations, optimal openers, what we've tested, dummies versus actual movement in fights. And the big thing is, a lot of this is determined by what we have done in fights and where we've seen problems, and then applying that understanding to dummy parses and what we can actually pull, what we know we can pull off versus just pure theory. So you have our good friend the dummy, and I'm going to minorly explain, and you're going to forgive me, I'm going to pull up my parser. You won't see it on the stream, but I will tell you just the raw numbers at the end, so you get an idea on, like, say, a 3-minute rotation. So the basics are simple. In your opener, you're going to start with Blizzard 3. The reason why we do this is to make sure that when we cast Fire 3 to get into our Astral Fire, we'll be at effectively full mana. It gives us additional casts. If you weren't doing this in previous content, you were actually robbing yourself of a single fire cast, so you're losing 1 fire worth of damage. And it matters for your buff timing, is really where this comes down to. It's all about the buff timing. I can see another Black Mage going nuts back there. But what you want to do, okay, so Blizzard 3, Thunder, I would typically suggest Thunder 1, just because it's very cheap, it's very quick, puts your dot up, and you're just kind of hoping that you get a Thundercloud proc. It's a little less about the raw damage of Thunder as just the chance to fish for a Thundercloud proc. So Blizzard 3, Thunder 1. After you so you would cast Blizzard 3, if you really want to weave this perfectly, Blizzard 3, Ley Lines, Thunder 1, Raging Strikes, Fire 3, Enochian. Now, this loses a little bit of time on Raging Strikes, so it's not perfectly optimal yet, but this is just what I've found to be the best timing. There is an alternate timing you can do, and I'll discuss that a little later after we've shown the rotation. But this is going to get all your buffs up after you finish Fire 3, so you can go straight into casting Fire 4. So you cast Fire 4, you're going to Sharp Cast Fire 4 again, Fire 1, that's going to use the Sharp Cast, proc Firestarter, cast 2 more Fire 4s, then use the Firestarter proc, Swift Cast, Flare, Convert, Fire 4, and at that time you're going to have enough time left on Enochian to Blizzard 3. Depending on your spell speed, you can either Thunder 1 again, or just go straight to Blizzard 4 to refresh Enochian and go back into your rotation. So that's the base opener. Okay? And I'm going to demonstrate without talking as much, just to make sure that I don't flub up and execute. I'm not 100% perfect yet. I'm pretty damn good at it, but afterward, you'll see. I want to explain because I'm not showing my tooltips. As you can see, like, you're only seeing names here. You're not seeing, like, the full tooltips on stuff. And part of that is just to make it so it's not as ugly whenever I hover over things to click. And I'm going to click on a lot of these skills. I have most of these keybound. Like, there's actually 2 different keybinds for my Sharp Cast here and a bunch of keybinds up here. But for several of my for basically just for Sharpcast, because I want you to see how the timing works, I'm going to hard click Sharpcast for weaving the Sharpcast in. And you'll notice, like, I have all my other buffs here bound to my mouse buttons, so you're going to just see those pop off. So just kind of pay attention to where the buffs come up, and how the rotation was explained. And you'll see just like a base rotation. I'll do kind of about a 3-minute burn, and there's going to be a point where I purposely let Enochian drop off. And I'm going to kind of basically wait the time out instead of trying to refresh Enochian again and getting only a 20-second refresh. I'm going to wait that time out just a little and refresh Enochian at 30 seconds. And this timing just, it works a little better with people who have less spell speed than I'm currently running at. I actually can effectively infinitely Enochian at my current spell speed, but this is good for a start, and as you get more and more comfortable with the rotation, you can start trying to go effectively infinite with Enochian when you're sitting on a dummy. Now, actual movement in a fight, getting used to letting that Enochian drop off will get you a little more accustomed to the amount of time it takes to do some small movements here and there in fights, and some of the alterations that you might have to do because of moving. Alright, so here we go. So Blizzard 1, Leylines, Thunder 1, Raging Strikes, Fire 3, Enochian, Fire 4, Sharpcast, Fire 4 again, Fire 1, Firestarter proc, Fire 4, Fire 4, Fire 3, Swift, Flare, Convert, Fire 4. And you can see, like, already, right? I have plenty of time to get Refresh Thunder 1 here, get my Blizzard 4 out, Enochian refreshes, bam, right back in the rotation. There's almost no downtime. I'm actually going to use my Thunderpod here. Got really lucky in that we got a Firestarter. So we're coming up on where we're going to drop out of Enochian. So we got that. I'm actually going to refresh on purpose because I want the time. At the end of this Fire 4, Enochian is already back up. Or Fire 3, I'm sorry. And we get Fire 4 again. Sharpcast is back up. We weave that right back in there. Get that Fire 1 back in there. You can just see, like, it's really clean. You get that little drop for a second occasionally, and that's perfectly fine. You're not actually losing the Astral Fire stacks, and the timing still works just fine. You're going straight in. Like, the timing just fits perfectly once you get really used to this, and you get just that little bit of spell speed. And right here, I'm actually going to refresh Leylines. And we're straight back in Enochian. This is just a really powerful rotation. It takes a little getting used to, but as soon as you get used to this, and then you can start applying like what it takes to do this on the run in a fight. So here, because of my Enochian timing, I actually want to refresh off of Blizz 4. And it's basically going to work that like every other major rotation, you're going to be doing this. And you can just see it's like nice, it's clean, and it's huge damage. Huge. Alright, so we'll stop there. That parse, by the way, 975 DPS. And that's like a 2 minute 18 second parse, 975 DPS. It's a good day to be a black mage, my friends. Good frickin' day.